You ever live in a building where you know something's off, but you can't quite explain it? I moved into this apartment last fall. It was a decent place, small studio, downtown, just old enough to be cheap without being a complete dump. Fourth floor walk up. No elevator. Creaky floors, the usual. There were 6 units in total. 3 on each side of a long, narrow hallway. Mine was 4B. Directly across from me was 4A. Now, when I first moved in, I figured that unit was empty. The door was always locked. The peephole covered with a sticker. No mail in the slot. But sometimes, late at night, I'd hear someone moving around in there. Not loud, just soft footsteps, like someone pacing, slow and deliberate. Once in a while, a thud, then silence. I didn't think much of it. People live weirdly. Some folks are just private. Maybe they work nights. At first, I thought they were junk, leftover sticky notes from the last tenant, or maybe something from the building manager. Just a single yellow square stuck to the wall near my door one morning. He watches. That's all it said. No name, no explanation. I figured it was a joke, or a weird neighbor thing. I took it down and tossed it in the trash. But 2 nights later, I came home and found another one. Same place, different handwriting, shaky this time, almost like it was written by someone whose hand wouldn't stop trembling. Don't look through the peephole. Okay, now that got my attention. Because the peephole in my door, it had never worked. Just blackness on the other side. I assumed it was blocked, or maybe the lens had been knocked loose. But that night, after I found the second note, I checked it again. Still black. But now it felt different. Like the darkness was waiting. That weekend, I asked my neighbor down the hall, an old guy in 4C who walks with a cane and always smells like onions, if he knew anything about the person in 4A. He didn't look at me when he answered, just muttered, "For has been empty since spring." I asked, "Then who lives there now?" He shook his head. "No one." I laughed. "I've heard someone in there. At night." He looked at me for a long time, eyes cloudy, but sharp beneath it all. Then he said very quietly, "They come back sometimes." Then he turned around and shut his door. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept staring at the peephole. It was like a magnet. I wanted to look through it. But the note, "Don't look," kept whispering in the back of my mind. At some point around 2:30 a.m., I heard footsteps from across the hall, slow, measured, pacing, then a soft scrape against my door, like a nail or the edge of a key. I sat there, completely still, every light off, holding my breath. Then silence. I crept to the door, put my eye to the peephole. Blackness. I waited, and then I saw it. Not clearly, just a hint of something. Movement. A shape. So close to the other side that it must have been inches away, but distorted, like the lens was bending it wrong. And then, for just a second, a smile. Too wide. Then gone. I fell back from the door. So hard I scraped my arm on the doorknob. I scrambled to turn on the lights. Every bulb in the apartment. I didn't sleep. I didn't move from my chair until morning. And when I finally opened the door to leave for work, I found a third note. This one wasn't a sticky. It was carved into the wood of my door with something sharp. "Now you saw." I told myself I was imagining things. that I was stressed, overworked, that maybe someone in the building was messing with me. I even asked the landlord to double check but he just shrugged it off. Locked up tight. No one's got a key but me. He didn't even check. That night, I duct taped a towel over the peephole. I figure if I couldn't look through it, I wouldn't be tempted. But at 3:12 a.m., I woke up, not because of a sound, not because of a dream, because of a feeling, like someone was staring at me, not through the window, not through a screen, from the hallway. I tiptoed to the door, heart hammering. The towel was gone, just peeled off and dropped at my feet. And through the peephole, I saw light, not the hallway light, flickering light, like a candle. I didn't look long, just long enough to see the barest glimpse of a face, half lit, half shadowed. It was mine, but not, twisted, stretched, like it was made of wax. I blinked and it was gone. But that was the night the scratching started. Every night after that, like clockwork, 3:10, 3:15, 3:17 a.m., a soft scratching at the door, always in short bursts, like whoever was doing it had a rhythm. 3 scratches, pause, 3 more. Sometimes it'd stop after a minute. Sometimes it went on for an hour. I tried recording it. The audio always came out blank. No sound, just silence. I tried calling the cops. They came out once. Knocked on 4A. No answer. Wrote it off. Told me to get some sleep. Last week, I finally snapped. I waited in the dark with a hammer in one hand and my phone in the other. At exactly 3:13, I heard it. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I yanked open the door. No one there. The hallway was empty. Still, not a sound. But 4A, that door was open, just an inch. And inside, there was no furniture, no carpet, just a dark, empty room. And on the far wall, scratched into the drywall, over and over again, hundreds of times, was my apartment number. 4B, 4B, 4B. I slammed the door and locked every deadbolt I had. That was 3 days ago. I haven't opened the door since, but the scratching continues. And this morning, I found a note under the bathroom mirror. Not taped, etched. Let me in. But then I started seeing the notes.